Good afternoon and welcome to my very first YouTube video for my CHiNo LoCo 305.Uber account. Thank you and welcome. It is Tuesday, December 20th, and we are in Miami, Florida. So, just a little background. I've been an Uber driver for about 4 months. Um, I also do other jobs as well. I created this YouTube account and this YouTube channel to express my views and opinions, comments, and concerns regarding Uber and as a driver, and to tell a few stories about my Uber rides and experiences. I've been a driver for about 4 months, and I've been a Uber user for about 2 years. Although I haven't really used Uber that much since I've been driving, obviously because now I have a car. Um, so just to start things off, give you an update on today's local news, or current events. Most recently, there was a shooting, a fatal shooting of an armed robber that confronted an Uber driver in the middle of the highway. Apparently, this Uber driver was cut off by a minivan, and some guy jumped out and pulled two guns on the Uber driver, and the Uber driver shot him 4 times dead in the street. The driver of the getaway car did escape and is, I believe, still at large. Um, I saw some posts on Facebook. I saw and heard some news about this, so I decided to read up, and they actually got the city name wrong. They spelled Aventura wrong, so I wasn't sure where this had occurred, but after reading further, it was in Aventura, Florida, which is literally down the street from my house. So I was actually driving that night, but I probably cut off around 3 o'clock. This incident happened at around 5:30 in the morning, and this is literally down the street from my house. So I'm a little bit concerned. As an Uber driver and a passenger, we're not allowed to carry weapons, especially guns. So a friend of mine posted and tagged me um, on his posts about this person, in the news that had, killed this man, this attempted robber. And they're saying that he's not going to get any charges, but I replied to my friend's comment that he's probably going to lose his job. In any case, I'm glad for the driver that did protect himself. I don't wish that upon any Uber driver. No one should be victimized by any criminal, whether it be a passenger or just anyone trying to attack an Uber driver or commit an offense against an Uber driver. So, with that said, I still plan on driving at night. Driving at night is my preference. Um, in the first 4 months, being that I've lived here my entire life, I know what the traffic is like. So I don't necessarily, want to drive during the day, especially the morning shifts, because I know what the rush hour traffic is like. And it's about 3:30 now. It's still considered rush hour traffic, but I'm going to head out a little early just to get a little jump on today. Um, I've decided to do 12-hour shifts. So if it's 3:30 now, I'll probably drive till 3:30 in the evening, or excuse me, in the morning. Of course, I'll take a break, for lunch or dinner, and bathroom breaks, and just find a find time in between, just to take a break, stretch my legs, you know, uh, stretch out my neck. I've had a pretty bad soreness in my neck for the past couple of weeks, and I'm not sure if it's because of driving or whatnot. But in any case, the longer you drive, obviously, the more money you make, and it's up to each driver to determine where that person goes, and when they drive. We do have certain charts and maps and all kinds of graphs that tell us, when the best time it is for us to drive in certain areas, so on and so forth. And with the upcoming holidays, this is Christmas week. I do anticipate a lot of Uber rides. I only drive for Uber. I do not drive for Lyft. I do Uber Eats, but I do not do Lyft or Postmates or Grubhub or any of those things. I've decided just to stick with Uber, and see how that goes from here. I'm not sure if I want to branch out into Postmates. I do have other jobs as well, so I'm not necessarily 100% focused on being an Uber driver. I'm using Uber as a platform to evolve into more entrepreneurial businesses, which Uber allows me to do with the fact that there's no schedule. I can work anytime I want, and I can still earn a decent living. Now, I decided to make these videos because I've seen a ton of drivers and all these people giving advice, and a lot of it's good advice. And if it wasn't for these videos, I wouldn't continue to have the success that I have. And I believe that your income and your ratings substantiate your driving. Meaning, the better you perform, the more you work, the more money you're gonna make, and the better reviews you're gonna get. So with that said, I'm starting to do my own videos so that people that come to Miami understand that not all Uber drivers suck. Because even my experiences, I've had some Uber drivers that sucked. So that's the reason why I became an Uber driver. Excuse me, because I felt that there were Uber drivers that weren't from here. They were recently arrived to the United States, and they just don't know their way around. Technology, GPS. There's a lot of multitasking involved, and I tell people all the time, if you want to become an Uber driver, go for it, do it. A second job, primary job, full-time job, whatever. But if you're not a good driver and you're not a good multitasker, and if you don't have common sense, don't become an Uber driver. Like right now, you can see I got both my hands. I have my car mount. This one happens to be a vent mount. I'm not too happy with it, but it's the one I got. Certain things that Uber drivers should know before they go in to driving. I was a passenger for 3 years, so I understood, what the concepts were behind being an Uber driver and a passenger, so on and so forth. So I knew what I needed to do to become successful. And just very simply, safety, courtesy, professionalism. Even though I'm dressed in a t-shirt, this is my actual poker shirt. A whole nother subject for another time. But I see these videos, and I've experienced Uber drivers, and I said, okay, well let me become an Uber driver, and then eventually I'll start making these videos. So this is my very first video, so I'm kind of just all over the place, and I've seen some videos that are very focused on certain subjects and certain issues. This first video is just going to be very general, about an introduction, so on and so forth. I have been doing some Facebook Live videos, but I feel that in order for me to reach a broader audience, YouTube will be able to do that. Now that my accounts are public, I can have the general public reach out to me and interact, and I think it's gonna work out well for my upcoming businesses and social networking and so on and so forth. So my name is Eric, aka CHiNo LoCo 305.Uber. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I haven't started a Twitter account, and YouTube. So you can use that handle for any one of those social media apps. And that's about it for that. So one other thing that I wanted to touch on, and it doesn't have to do with Uber or myself, it has to do with the election. Today is December 20th, which is the day after the Electoral College voted on keeping Trump as our president. Well, our only chance for our salvation of the nation is gone. And I think we are all in fear of what's going to happen next. I mean, I'm not that kind of person that dwells on that kind of fear because, for me, it's c'est la vie, whatever happens, happens. Whatever's meant to be, will be. So, with that said, we're about 11 minutes into this video. I don't want to make this video too long. I'll probably cap it at about 15 minutes just so that I could have an ending point to this. If you want to catch me on Facebook, you can reach me at that same handle, CHiNo LoCo 305.Uber at Gmail. Again, it's CHiNo LoCo 305.Uber at gmail.com. So I'm still in my house. I haven't left my parking lot of my complex. I live in a centralized, actually the most northern part of Miami-Dade County. It's actually on the county line road between Dade and Broward. So usually what I do is I make sure I have gas. I filled up my tank last night, so I don't have to go get gas before I turn on my app. I can just turn on my app and go from here. 9 times out of 10, if I'm turning on my app in my community before I hit any main street, I already have a ride. So the demand for Uber is great. Even with the competition, with Lyft, I still get, an abundance of rides, and the continuity between the rides is very, very seamless. Meaning that, I'll catch a ride sometimes before I even finish, the previous ride. And same thing with the pool. There's a lot of pool riders. Sometimes you get single passengers, which is, not the most, lucrative for a driver if you are only carrying one pool passenger, but it goes with the territory. So I'm gonna head out. I'll probably turn on the Facebook Live because it's a little bit more interactive. I don't have very many followers on Facebook Live, but I believe it's an open account. It's a public account, so I think anyone that decides to view a live feed can see what's going on. So usually what I do is I turn off Facebook Live and I go through the motions of being an Uber driver, and I tell stories of some of my riders. So we're gonna go for now. We're gonna switch over to Facebook Live. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. And we'll be back soon. Take care. We'll see you soon.